Today we're going to be working on solutions, one, none, or infinitely many. This is 8th grade digits 2.4. Make sure that you are following along with your notes and make sure you add on to your notes as we go through the video lesson. All right, so let's start by talking about what we mean when we say one solution. When does an equation have one solution? A linear equation in one variable has one solution if only one value of the variable makes the equation true. So here we have an example where we have 57 and 9/10 minus 98 and 2/10 y equals 303 and 4/10. So we use our inverse operations. We begin by subtracting 57 and 9/10 from both sides of the equation. Then we do the opposite of multiplication, which is division, and we divide both sides of our equation by negative 98 and 2/10. That gives us y equals negative 2 and 5/10. This equation has one solution. Y can only be negative 2 and 5/10. All right, let's look at this one. This is talking about an equation having no solution. When does an equation have no solution? A linear equation in one variable has no solution if no value of the variable makes the two sides of the equation equal. Here we have 3 times 2g plus 4 equals 6g plus 9. We use the distributive property to simplify the expression, and we get 6g plus 12 equals 6g plus 9. When we subtract 6g from both sides of the equation, we have 12 equals 9. 12 does not equal 9. That is a false statement. So the equation has no solution. When does an equation have infinitely many solutions? A linear equation in one variable has infinitely many solutions if any value of the variable makes the two sides of the equation equal. Here we have an equation 9 plus 4p minus 2 equals p plus 3p plus 7. We go ahead and combine like terms. 9 minus 2 plus 4p equals p plus 3p plus 7. 9 minus 2 is 7 plus 4p equals 1 plus 3 is 4p plus 7. Now we subtract 4p from both sides of our equation and we have 7 equals 7. 7 does equal 7, so this is a true statement and the equation has infinitely many solutions. Make sure you copy down these examples in your notes for the types of solutions. One solution, an example is y equals negative 2 and 5/10. No solution, 12 equals 9. And infinitely many solutions, 7 equals 7. Now we're going to look at this and determine if these equations are true or false. So the first box in orange, this is stating that these are no solution. So let's look at the first one. We have 2j plus 7 equals 2j plus 7. If we subtract 2j from both sides of the equation, then we're left with 7 equals 7. 7 does equal 7. It does have a solution, so this statement is false. It does not belong in the no solution category. The next one says 4 equals 9. 4 does not equal 9, so this is a true statement. It has no solution. In the one solution box, we have 1/2 equals 5/10. If we simplify 5/10, we get 1/2. 1/2 does equal 1/2, and that's not one solution. That is infinitely many solutions. So the statement within the one solution box is false. Then we have x equals 2/5. That is one solution. X can only equal 2/5, so that is a true statement. It is one solution. In the infinitely many solutions box, we have 2/10 equals 2/100. 2/10 does not equal 2/100. So that is a false statement, and that would be no solution. 3h equals 12. If we divide both sides of our equation by 3, h equals 4. That means that h has one solution, not infinitely many. So that is also a false statement. It does not have infinitely many solutions. What should you conclude if after solving an equation, the result is 1/2 equals 2/3? So what I'm asking you, does this have one, none, or infinitely many solutions? So go ahead and think about that. Does this have one, none, or infinitely many solutions? If you said none, you are correct. 1/2 does not equal 2/3. So that is no solution. Next it says solve 4 plus w plus 5w equals 3 times 2w plus 1 6/10. The first thing we're going to do is use our distributive property. So we're going to multiply the number outside of parentheses times everything inside the parentheses. 3 times 2w is 6w plus, we're going to multiply 1 6/10 times 3. That's going to give us 4 8/10. On the other side of our equation, we have 4 plus w plus 5w. Now, we need to combine our like terms. We can combine w plus 5w. 1w plus 5w gives us 6w equals 6w plus 4 8/10. If I were to subtract 6w from both sides of my equation, I have 4 equals 4 8/10. That is not a true statement. Therefore, the answer to this would be no solution. Next, we have 25/100 times 4x minus 2 equals x minus 1/2. Again, we're going to use our distributive property. 25/100 times 4x is x minus 24/100 minus 2 is 5/10 equals x minus 1/2. Now here we have a decimal and a fraction, so they need to be in the same form. 5/10 is 1/2 as a fraction. So when I rewrite it as a fraction, I see x minus 1/2 equals x minus 1/2. This is the same thing on both sides of the equal sign. Therefore, this has infinitely many solutions. All right, look at this problem. I want you to determine if there is one, none, or infinitely many solutions. All right, here we have r equals 5r minus 3r minus r. So I'm going to combine like terms. 5r minus 3r is 2r minus r. And when I subtract the 1r from 2r, that gives me r. So now I have r equals r. This is a true statement. Therefore, the solution has infinitely many answers. want you to look at this problem. At what point in the solution below do you first recognize that the equation has infinitely many solutions? If you look at this equation, when we get to where we combine like terms, this is where we see that there are infinitely many solutions. Because I know when I subtract 4p from both sides of my equation, I have 7 equals 7, which is a true statement. It's also a true statement that 7 plus 4p equals 4p plus 7. These are the same expressions within this equation. Therefore, there are infinitely many solutions. Here you will find your independent practice for this assessment. Digits assignment 2.4. Don't forget that is in your 8th grade digits. Then you need to make sure that you have finished digits 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. Your Unit 7 IXL skills can be found in Google Classroom. And don't forget that your spiral review number 1 is due on Friday, and that is in the Accelerated 7th grade digits folder.